Your calorie deficit is working, but that's actually the problem. If you're over 40, eating less, tracking everything, and the scale will not move, I need you to hear this. Your body's not broken, and you're not lazy. Your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's protecting you from what it thinks is a famine. But in this video, I'm going to show you a 7-point audit we now run on over 3,000 people before we touch their calories. Because here's what all that coaching has taught us. When someone over 40 stalls in a deficit, the food is almost never the thing that actually stuck. And since you don't trust me yet, we've helped thousands of people lose 30 to 50 pounds in 6 months using this same system. And in this video, I'm going to give it away for free. Here's the lie you've been sold, that your body is a calculator. Calories in, calories out. Do the math, lose the weight. Your body is not a calculator. Your body is a negotiator. And right now, it's negotiating against you. When you cut calories, your body doesn't just shrug and burn fat, it responds. It can slow your metabolism, dial down your daily movement without you noticing, crank up hunger hormones, and hold water like it's preparing for a drought. Eating less is necessary, but for a 45-year-old body, it's nowhere near sufficient. I probably shouldn't say this, but screw it. Before we built 7-Point Nutrition, Rhonda and I owned supplement stores. We sold weight loss pills for a living, and we watched the same customer come back month after month, buying the next pill, the next fat burner, still stuck. We knew the pill was never a full answer. So we became coaches. Meal plans, macros, the works. And it worked until it didn't. Because we kept meeting clients who did everything right, counting their calories perfectly, but still getting zero results. Then we lost family members to health problems that were preventable. That changed everything for us. We stopped asking, are you eating too much? And started asking a better question. What else is your body dealing with? That question became the 7 points of health. It's now helped over 3,000 people get unstuck. Let me walk you through the 7 points. Some of you've heard, but I promise you've never heard them framed this way. And point 4 is the one your doctor probably never actually checked, even while telling you everything looks normal, so stay for that one. Point 1 is nutrition. And inside nutrition, the lever almost everyone over 40 misses is protein. Stop thinking of protein as food, start thinking it as instruction. Every gram of protein you eat is a message to your body that says, keep the muscle, burn the fat instead. 2 things most people have never been told. First, protein is hard for your body to digest. Roughly 20 to 30% of its calories get burned just processing it. But with carbs, it's around 5 to 10%. So 200 calories of chicken and 200 calories of crackers are not the same 200 calories. Your tracking app treats them identically. Your metabolism does not. After 30, you can lose somewhere between 3 to 8% of your muscle every decade if you do nothing about it. Muscle is the engine that burns your calories. So when people say my metabolism slowed down after 40, what usually happened is the engine got smaller. Point 2 and 3 are sleep and stress, but we treat these as 1 point because your body does too. Okay, this was actually a crazy study, and some of you are going to get upset when you hear it. Researchers at the University of Chicago took 2 groups of dieters and put them in the exact same calorie deficit. Identical foods, the only difference is that one group slept 8.5 hours, the other slept 5.5 hours. The short sleepers lost about 55% less fat even though they had the same diet. And the weight that they did lose came from muscle instead of fat. Yikes. So if you're grinding through a calorie deficit on 5 hours of sleep, you're not dieting. You're rowing a boat with 1 oar. Sleep is not recovery from fat loss. Sleep is when fat loss happens. Now stack stress on top. You're not crazy for feeling like the scale hates you. Let me show you what's actually happening. Chronic stress raises cortisol. Elevated cortisol makes your body retain water, sometimes several pounds of it. So picture this. 3 weeks into your diet, stressed about work, stressed about diet itself, you've actually lost 2 pounds of fat, but you're holding 3 pounds of water. The scale says you gained a pound. So you panic. You cut it harder, you add more cardio, which adds more stress, which holds more water. You're literally burning fat while the scale tells you you're failing. We've watched people quit during the exact week their body was finally letting go. Which brings me to point 3, because adding more cardio when your weight loss stalls is the most backwards thing you can do after 40. Here's why. If your whole plan is to eat less and burn more, you're not protecting your muscle. You may be making your future metabolism smaller. That is like trying to make your house cheaper to heat by ripping out the furnace. At 7-Point, we teach that workouts should not burn calories. They should build the body that burns them. Lifting heavy isn't there to burn calories during the workout. It's there to make sure the weight you lose is fat, not your muscle. Muscle's not just about looking toned. Muscle is a metabolic insurance. So the better question is not, how many calories did my workout burn? The better question is, what kind of body is this workout building? Now to point 4, the one that I told you to wait for, hormones and blood work. Would you let a mechanic rebuild your engine without ever plugging in a diagnostic computer? Of course not, but that's exactly what every diet you've ever tried has done to your body. Guessing, no data. If you're a woman over 40, perimenopause is shifting your estrogen and progesterone, and that changes where and how your body stores fat, especially around the middle. And in things like underactive thyroid or insulin resistance, both are incredibly common at this age, and you can be doing everything right on paper while your chemistry is working against you. And if you're on a GLP-1 or thinking about one, this point is not optional. The GLP-1 can open the door, but these 7 points decide whether the weight stays off when you walk through it. This is why eat less, move more advice makes you crazy. It's not wrong, it's just incomplete. Telling someone with an unaddressed insulin resistance to just eat less is like telling to bail water faster instead of patching the hole in the boat. At 7 point, blood work isn't an upsell, it's where we start. Point 5, hydration, the most boring point, which is exactly why everyone skips it. 2 quick things. Your brain is shockingly bad at telling thirst from hunger. A lot of that 3 p.m., I need a snack feeling is actually, I haven't had water since breakfast. And in studies where dieters simply drink water before meals, they eat less and lost more without trying harder. If hydration is poor, everything gets harder. Workouts feel harder, digestion feels slower, cravings get louder, energy drops. Properly hydrating is the cheapest fix of this entire list, and it's the one people fight us on the most. Drink the water. It's free. Act like it costs $200 a month and maybe you'll respect it. Point 6, environment. Here's the truth about willpower. You don't rise to the level of your willpower. You fall to the level of your kitchen. If the chips are on the counter and the protein is buried in the back of the fridge, you haven't built a diet. You've built an obstacle course. And you run it exhausted every single night after the hardest part of your day. But people succeed long-term aren't more disciplined than you. They've stopped asking willpower to do the job that design should be doing. And point 7, mindset. And I've saved this for last because this is the one that decides whether the other 6 ever get a chance. You were never the problem, your math was. Psychologists have a name for what kills most diets. They call it the what the hell effect. You eat one cookie you didn't plan, decide the whole day is ruined, say what the hell and finish the box. Then you start over on Monday again. Here's the math that nobody shows you. The cookie may be 150 calories. The what the hell that follows it can be 2,000. The cookie was never the problem. The story you told yourself about the cookie was. You don't have a discipline problem, you have a perfection problem. And perfection is the only diet that fails 100% of the time. Progress over perfection isn't just a cute slogan for us. It's the 7-point framework because we've watched it decide more outcomes than any meal plan ever has. So that's a framework. Mindset, nutrition, hydration, sleep and stress, hormones and blood work, environment and movement. 7 points. And notice what's true about all of them. Not one of them is try harder. If you've been stuck, the answer was never another diet. It was the audit you've never been given. We turn this into a free assessment. You can take this assessment in about 2 minutes. It's linked below. Score yourself honestly in all 7 points, and you'll probably find your stall hiding 1 or 2 of them. Then do this, comment below and tell us which of the 7 points you're failing. We read every single one. And if you'd rather have us run the audit with you, with real blood work and a coach who actually looks at your data, that link is down there too. It's how over 3,000 people finally got unstuck. You were never failing a deficit. The deficit was failing to ask the right question. Now you have them.